Hello everyone, welcome back to the third part of print culture and the modern world. In the previous unit, we have already studied about the advent of print to Europe and about the breakthrough given by Johann Gutenberg, who gave the first mechanical press. Prior to this, there was presence of hand printing. So we'll talk about Gutenberg and the printing press today. After this video lesson, you would be able to tell about Gutenberg press and also list the features of the first printed Bible. Look at this picture. This is a portrait of Johann Gutenberg. It's important to know about Johann Gutenberg. He was the son of a merchant and grew up on a large agricultural estate. From his childhood, he had seen wine and olive presses, how presses were used. He had a clear idea about it, and thereafter, he also learned the art of polishing stones and became a master goldsmith. He acquired the expertise to create lead molds used for making trinkets. When we talk about trinkets, so like the artificial jewelry, a small ornament or item of jewelry that is of little value. They were prepared using lead molds. Drawing on his knowledge, Gutenberg adapted existing technology to design his innovation. So the new practice or the new innovation that he brought was clearly based on his knowledge about the molds, his knowledge about the wine and olive presses. He combined the knowledge and thereafter gave the mechanical press. The olive press provided the model for the printing press, and molds were used for casting the metal types for the letters of the alphabet. By 1448, Gutenberg perfected the system, and the first book he printed was Bible. Now, look at the picture of the Bible that was printed. That was the first printed book, and let's know about Gutenberg's Bible. So Gutenberg's Bible was the first book which was printed, and about 180 copies were printed, and it took 3 years to produce them, of which no more than 50 have survived. So you can see here that it took a lot of time, 3 years, to print about 180 copies. However, by the standards of the time, this was fast production. It was not a slow production. In comparison to the hand printing or copying of the document or copying of the books, this mechanical printing was a faster process. Look at these pages of Gutenberg's Bible carefully, and after observation, you would find they were not just products of new technology. The text was printed in the new Gutenberg press with metal type, but the borders were carefully designed, painted, and illuminated by hand by artists. So you can see at the bottom here the design showing up here. This design you can see here at the bottom that clearly shows that the artists designed the paper, and on those paper printing was done. So that is why we can say that it was not the result of only mechanical printing. Handcraft was still used, and that is why no two copies were the same. Every page of each copy was different. Even when two copies look similar, a careful comparison will reveal differences. Whenever we produce things with hand, of course, there would be differences. You have seen this when you studied about the age of industrialization. So, no two copies were similar. Elites everywhere, the high class people, the educated, the high profile people, elites everywhere preferred this lack of uniformity. They did not want uniform products, same type of product. They wanted uniqueness. What they possessed then could be claimed as unique, for no one else owned a copy that was exactly the same. So they wanted unique product. In the text you will notice the use of color within the letters in various places. So you see here that different colors are used. In the text you will notice that clearly. This had two functions. First, it added color to the page and highlighted all the holy words to emphasize their significance. But the color in every page of the text was added by hand. So that is also special. So the colors were added separately by hand, and Gutenberg printed the text in black, leaving spaces where the color could be filled in later to have the specific designs. Now let's talk about Gutenberg printing press. You can see the model here, how it was pressed. You can see handle, screw, platen, printing block placed over paper, and how the printing was done. So you can notice here the long handle attached to the screw. This handle was used to turn the screw and press down the platen over the printing block that was placed on top of a sheet of a damp paper. So the paper used to be inserted, and thereafter by pressing the frame, the handle, with the help of screw, the printing was done. And when we talk about platen, in letterpress printing, platen is a board which is pressed onto the back of the paper to get the impression from the type. At one time, it used to be a wooden board, later it was made of steel. So Gutenberg developed metal types for each of the 26 characters of the Roman alphabets and devised a way of moving them around so as to compose different words of the text. So all the alphabets were created in metal type. This came to be known as the movable type printing machine, and it remained the basic print technology over the next 300 years. So as you see, the breakthrough was in 1430s, and thereafter the perfect system evolved in 1448. For the next 300 years, this method was used and adopted. Books could now be produced much faster than was possible when each print block was prepared by carving a piece of wood by hand. So in comparison to woodblock printing, this method was faster. The Gutenberg press could print 250 sheets on one side per hour. So that undoubtedly speeded up the production process. Now look at the picture, a printer's workshop in the 16th century. This picture depicts what a printer's shop looked like in the 16th century. You can see everyone working there under one roof. All the activities are going on under one roof. In the foreground, on the right, compositors are at work, while on the left, galleys are being prepared and ink is being applied on the metal types. In the background, the printers are turning the screws, the screws of the press, and near them proofreaders who check or who edit who find out what are the mistakes. So they finally check it. So the proofreaders are at work. Right in front is the final product, the double page printed sheets. You can see at the front, stacked in neat piles waiting to be bound, and thereafter binding was done. And when we say compositor, the person who composes the text for printing. And galley, metal frame in which types are laid and the text composed. So we have discussed about the printing press, we have discussed about the Gutenberg's press, and these are the assignments based on the video lesson. You can easily answer these questions, explain the main features of the first printed Bible. Who was Johann Gutenberg? How did he invent the printing press? It means you need to write from where he got the inspiration. How did his invention bring a revolution in the field of printing ideas? Thank you and have a great day.